Just imagine a military camp that is usually filled with the clatter of soldiers' shoes and loud commanding voices, suddenly turns into a sea of love. Purple flags are flying, excited shouts are echoing, and amidst all the chaos, there's one person who can't even believe what he's seeing. Yep, it's BTS Taehyung, who was shocked to death by ARMY. So, some time ago, Taehyung, better known as VBTS, was serving his mandatory military service. As we all know, in South Korea, all healthy men are required to serve, and Taehyung, despite being a global superstar, still took to the field just like any other soldier. No exceptions. But what he never expected was how much influence he had even within the military. The story begins when news of Taehyung's camp location leaks out in the ARMY community. Despite the super tight military security, ARMY's enthusiasm was unstoppable. Fans began to arrive from various regions, carrying posters, light sticks, and some even wore purple ARMY uniforms, the signature color of BTS fandom. Some were willing to travel for hours just to catch a glimpse of Taehyung from a distance. Imagine a military camp that is usually rigid is suddenly like a concert festival. It was so crowded, the commanders at the camp were confused. Is this really a training camp or a hidden meet and greet event? The atmosphere that was supposed to be stern and serious became colorful. There was a massive wave of love, and even some of the other soldiers who served with Taehyung were mesmerized because they themselves had never seen such a phenomenon in their lives. Taehyung, who was in intensive training at the time, didn't know anything at first. He was focused on going through the tough routine, physical training, combat simulations, marching drills. Until one day, when they finished field training, there was a loud cheer from outside the camp gate. Not the sound of a demonstration, not the sound of another soldier's family, but a wave of armies carrying a huge banner that read, "We love you, Taehyung." Taehyung's reaction? Shocked, confused, touched, embarrassed. All of those feelings seemed to be mixed together. He had to check with his seniors several times. "Hyung, is this really for me?" And the answer, with a small laugh, "Yes, it's all for you, Kim Taehyung." In theory, this phenomenon can be explained through what is called celebrity adoration in social psychology. This is a condition in which fans develop a very strong emotional bond with a public figure, beyond the usual boundaries. Usually, this bond grows from a combination of admiration for the idol's talent, character, and public image. In Taehyung's case, all of these factors stack up. His deep, soothing voice, his incredible visuals, his warm yet mysterious personality, they form a magnetic attraction that's hard to explain with simple logic. Hence, it's no wonder that armies are so passionate about him. To them, Taehyung isn't just a celebrity. He's a source of happiness, inspiration, and even a zest for life. In terms of the military itself, this is certainly a unique phenomenon. Usually, military camps are strictly guarded from any form of public attention for national security reasons. But this incident more or less proves that in this day and age, the line between the military and the entertainment world can shift, especially when a figure as big as Taehyung is involved. After the incident, the camp finally took preventive measures. They tightened access, increased security patrols, and there were even reports that some training activities had to be rescheduled so as not to clash with the crowd of fans. But for the armies who had already come, they still waited, standing for hours in the hot sun or cold air, with the small hope of catching a glimpse of Taehyung. That was enough for them. And the most touching thing? Taehyung, despite the limitations of being an active soldier, still tried to show his gratitude. He waved a few times from a distance when he got out of the camp fence. That small gesture for ARMY was more than enough. It's proof that their relationship, despite being separated by an iron fence and military protocol, remains irreplaceably close. And since that incredible event, something has changed not just in ARMY's hearts but also in Taehyung himself. After seeing how ARMY was there for him even during the tough times of military service, Taehyung started to show a new side of himself. Amidst the rigors of military life, waking up early in the morning, training hard until his body was exhausted, eating limited portions, sleeping rough, he found new motivation: ARMY. Not just words, not just talk, but real. For Taehyung, every shout of support from outside that fence, every purple banner fluttering in the wind, was a reminder that what he was doing, what he was sacrificing, meant so much more than just completing a national duty. Psychologically, this is referred to as intrinsic motivation, a drive from within that is born not out of external pressure, but out of a personal love and meaning for what one does. In Taehyung's case, the presence of armies outside of the military camp not only made him feel appreciated, but also energized him to live each day with dedication. He's no longer just fighting as an ordinary soldier. He's fighting as a representation of the hopes of millions of people. And interestingly, this phenomenon doesn't stop there. Some of the other soldiers, who may have been a bit cynical or confused as to why their barracks mates were being hailed so highly, were eventually swayed. Some started to find out about BTS. Some secretly played the song Spring Day in the dormitory. Some even learned the moves to Boy with Love in their spare time. Imagine a military camp that is usually synonymous with harsh, rigid, and stressful, slowly starts to take on a hint of purple, the color of Army's love. From a social perspective, this is referred to as social contagion, where positive emotions and behaviors spread from one individual to another in the same environment. Taehyung's existence, along with the immense love of ARMY, creates a small wave of positive change that spreads slowly in a normally closed world like the military. Meanwhile, outside the fence, ARMY also formed a kind of silent solidarity. They maintain order, remind each other not to break military rules, and even create a small community to share updates with each other about Taehyung's condition. No one wanted to put Taehyung in trouble because of their actions. Everything was organized as neatly as possible with one principle: support without disrupting. Then, from a public and media relations perspective, this is also a very interesting phenomenon. Local and international media started covering this story. News about the soldier named Taehyung who was flooded with ARMY love was widespread. There were articles that talked about how the power of a global fandom like ARMY is able to influence even an environment as strict as the military.